It's me, Mario. Okay, not actually. It's just Colton, referring to myself in the third person and letting you know that it's time for another episode of Watch, Review, Repeat. This time, Andrew and I are going on a galactic adventure with the Super Mario Brothers in the Super Mario Galaxy movie. A new episode of Watch, Review, Repeat begins now. Welcome to Watch, Review, Repeat. This is the podcast where two best friends discuss the latest in film and television and then do it all over again the following episode. My name is Colton Brown, and joining me is...
Andrew Meadows. I am here.
I was going to see if you did some Mario sounds or something.
Woohoo! Too late.
Yahoo!
Oh, very good. That was pretty good.
Yeah. He's in this one. He was in the post credits. His egg was teased in the last one, and by golly, they've made a sequel. It's called the Super Mario Galaxy movie. We've both seen it. We're here to talk about it. It's episode 319 of Watch, Review, Repeat. How exciting is that?
That's pretty exciting. It's a lot of episodes, man.
That's a lot of episodes. That's right.
A lot of movies.
Yeah, it's been, a few years since that first one came out. We covered that back in 2023.
The one I chipped my tooth in, and my tooth is still chipped, by the way.
Did you chip your tooth for that one?
I was thinking Atomic Blonde and...
I was thinking
Mario.
Of the first Mario one. I was saying, how many movies have you chipped your teeth in? Like, are you doing okay? You need dentures at this point? Veneers? What's going on?
No, I did not chip my tooth during the first Mario. Not that I know of, anyways.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I'm excited to talk about the Super Mario Galaxy movie. We'll be doing that very, very shortly because this is a new regular episode. We had a long Brews News and Previews last time. We were doing great, I would say, and then fucking Harry Potter happened, and I swear we spent maybe a half hour on that, and then Dune happened, and we spent maybe another half hour on that. I don't know if the math is exactly that, but we were pacing so well. And then we spent like 20 minutes talking about the Odyssey. Hey, that's what those episodes are for, but man, we were like, it really spun out of control and like like
the tail end of the episode, yeah.
Yeah. No, it felt like, okay, two things left and catching up. 3 hours later. We won't be doing that here. We've got a relatively short movie. It's a kid's movie. It's a Mario movie. We have some things to say on it, of course. But yeah, we'll get into that very shortly. Before we do get into the Mario Galaxy movie, do you have a mythological trivia question to ask me? And bonus points if you can somehow tie it into Mario. I don't know how you're going to do it, but if you can manage it, then more power to you.
Okay, bonus points. I'm going to go for bonus points here.
Oh, one up, maybe a 1-up, a little green mushroom.
What Nintendo game series is loosely based on characters from Greek mythology?
Kid Icarus?
Kid Icarus. I didn't even need to present the options.
What were the options? Just given to me for funsies.
Rayman, The Legend of Zelda, Super Mario Brothers, and Kid Icarus.
I mean, is there a way that the Mario Brothers could be tied into mythology somehow? Or is there like a very famous set of plumbers in Greek mythology, that famously wear red and green? I don't know. There could be. I don't know everything there is
Yoshi
to know
could
about
probably,
Greek mythology.
You could probably find a way to, like shoehorn
it's a creature
Yoshi.
of some sort. Yeah. Exactly. Wow. All right. So I was right.
You were right. I didn't even need the options on that one.
Kid Icarus. All right. Very nice. That's cool. Do you have anything to share about Icarus? Is he flying too close to the sun or anything?
No. Well, I mean that is Icarus. Fun fact: my first beta fish, his name was Icarus.
Oh, okay.
And
that's a fun fact. Yeah.
He did fly too close to the sun. He perished.
Yeah. Well, he's a fish, and you're probably going back a few years, so it's just
but yeah,
vicious nature of life. But all right. Well,
that's all I got on that one.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll be damned. That tied in really, really well. Actually, one of the fucking answers was literally Mario. You didn't write this one on your own, right? Was this a legit
it's
card?
actually C. C was printed on the card.
Hot damn. How about that? All right. You might need a Tanuki suit.
I've been
power up for that, or like the fire, the fire suit. Like,
yeah.
I don't know if a 1-up's quite enough. I feel like you need a really special power.
Star? Can I get a star for that?
A star. That's what it is. A star is a good option. Yes, you get a star for that. Well, let's talk about the Super Mario Galaxy movie, which is filled with stars because it's a galaxy-spanning adventure film, which is playing in theaters right now. It came out April 1st. We're recording this a week after its release. I think we saw it its opening weekend. Both of us, if I'm not mistaken. We'll get into that, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. The film was written by Matthew Fogel, directed by Aaron Horvath and Michael Jelnick, who I believe both directed the predecessor, the Super Mario Bros. Movie. It is based off of the character Mario, or the franchise Mario by Nintendo. And it stars the voices of Chris Pratt, Anya Taylor-Joy, Charlie Day, Jack Black, Keegan-Michael Key, Benny Safdie, Donald Glover, and Brie Larson. It's another big name, but we're going to hold that for spoilers. But it does tie into my fun fact, which I'll get into in a second. Because first I have to tell you what this movie's about. It's about Mario and Luigi, famously based off of Greek mythology. No, that's all right. Princess Peach's birthday party sparks a galactic adventure, sending plumbers Mario and Luigi into space to stop Bowser Jr.'s wicked ambitions and save Rosalina. Oh man, sounds like a good time. Sounds like a really fun, rollicking time. All right, I do have a fun fact to share, and it's going to be half of a fun fact.
Okay,
because there are two big name actors that are new additions to the voice cast. One of them is Donald Glover. The other one, they technically spoiled about a week before this movie came out, but I think they shouldn't have done that. It was really fucking stupid of them to do it this way. And so I'm going to not spoil anyone that didn't know. Maybe you yourself were not spoiled. We didn't actually talk about it on the podcast, but we'll get into it later. I'm going to hold back on it for now. So I will return and finish the fun fact in spoilers. But Donald Glover actually petitioned to voice Yoshi. Like he approached Illumination, he approached Nintendo and said, I want to be the voice of Yoshi. And that's kind of how he got the gig,
that's pretty exciting. It's pretty cool.
Pretty interesting and very funny, because Yoshi famously is a character that just makes licking noises and says Yoshi. So it's a really funny kind of voice role. I mean, obviously, all of these characters in the video game traditionally don't talk, really. You know what I mean? They just make sound effects and, if you're Luigi, you're, Yahoo! If you're Mario, or, I don't know, Bowser does a big roar. I'd probably do a bad one, but, they changed that for their first movie so that Mario sounded like Chris Pratt. It was a choice, but they did it.
The right one. I think it was the right one. Yeah.
All right, we'll talk about it. But, they did not do the same for Yoshi. Or Yoshi is still very much just no, and things of that nature. Which is so. I think it's just very funny for someone of Donald Glover's stature to just be voicing fucking Yoshi, and presumably getting paid, even if he is himself saying, "Hey, I want to be in this movie." I'm assuming he's still not doing it for free. Although I don't know if we have any hard statistics on what everyone is compensated for their voice work here. But anyway, that's half of my fun fact. Like I said, the other big surprise name that joined the voice cast we'll get into in spoilers. For now, we can do a box office breakdown if you're up for such a thing.
Yeah, let's do it. I could probably
box office breakdown. Yahoo!
Let's go.
Let's go. Yes, there we go. I was trying to think of other. I keep doing the same, like the triple jump Mario sounds. Like he does other things, right? Yes. All right. We're gonna do a box office breakdown, and I'm gonna say we'll see how this goes. I'm getting tired of Box Office Mojo because it looks like it was designed 20 years ago and has yet to be updated.
Still the same.
And so someone on Reddit has created a new website called Box Office Watch, which I think is kind of made with the idea of, hey, someone should do a box office website that looks like it was made today. And so it looks pretty nice, and it has... when I went to the opening page, it was like here's a link to a comparison between the first movie and Galaxy movie, and I'm like, oh, that's great. I love that. Like, you have to click like 18 different things to find that on Box Office Mojo. So anyway, let's talk about the Super Mario Galaxy movie and how well it's doing. I think we had bold predictions that it would dethrone Project Hail Mary as the largest grossing film of the year.
This is actually pretty nice. Pretty nice website.
Yeah, no, I mean, it certainly looks nice. The prediction came to pass. It, I believe, outgrossed the first weekend of Project Hail Mary, with its first weekend. Now, to be somewhat fair, it did play over Easter weekend, and it had an extended opening frame, so it kind of affected it that way. But yeah, I think it ended up still coming in with the highest opening weekend, I think, for the year. Let me double check that using boxofficewatch.com. Not getting compensated by them records. Is this what I'm looking for? No, that's not right.
I was clicking around trying to figure it out.
This is just all time. Yeah, I've got to get used to it. Yeah, Project Hail Mary had an $80.6 million opening weekend. I couldn't remember if it cracked triple digits, and I didn't think it did, but indeed it did not. So Super Mario Galaxy movie had a 3-day opening of $130.9 million. But as I said, it opened on the Wednesday with $34.5 million on that opening Wednesday, and then a little bit more. And yeah, so right now it's sitting after 1 week at $222.4 million domestically, $372.5 million worldwide, which I think puts it well on track to be, at least for now, the highest grossing film of the year. I think right now it's still sitting behind some others because, it just came out a week ago.
Yeah.
But give it time. I'm sure things will change. Yeah, Project Hail Mary, I think, is still slightly out of it right now. And apparently something called Pegasus 3, which is a Chinese sports comedy film, which is doing very well in China, and like many Chinese films that do well in China, nowhere else. But a lot of people there. A lot of people watching Pegasus 3. So right now, highest grossing movie of 2026. I had no idea that movie existed until about 30 seconds ago.
Where do you see that at?
Good for it.
What, on this,
that was on Wikipedia. So I was bouncing different sources there. I didn't actually see that. I didn't want to try to have to navigate this website on the fly too much.
Yeah.
Yearly box office. Here we go. Yeah, you have to change it to worldwide. If you do the yearly box office, it gives you the domestic tab by default, which has Project Hail Mary is, like I said, just barely ahead of Mario Galaxy movie right now. Obviously, that will probably flip in the next day or two. But then worldwide, you can see Pegasus 3. It doesn't even have a poster for Pegasus 3. That's how...
Yeah. I actually scrolled over it the first time
Americans'
said that. Yeah.
radars. Yeah. But yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
So... and to circle back to the whole thing of, hey, you can see the comparison. This is a very good opening. Obviously, it's the biggest of the year. It is slightly down from the first movie. First movie opened with $146.3 million in its opening weekend, versus like the 132 that we had here. And through its first week, it's running pretty close to that, about $18 million off the 7-day total of the first movie. So pretty close, a little bit down. Obviously not typically what you'd like to see, but I think it's running close enough that I don't think anyone's going to be worried about this one's box office prospects. I think it's fair to say Mario 3 will be happening in the next few years without much doubt. But first, we must talk about Mario 2, or as they have called it, the Super Mario Galaxy movie. We've gone from fucking the Super Mario Bros. Movie. We've skipped over like land, world. We went straight to Galaxy.
How are you going to top that? How are you going to jump that shark? I don't know.
They didn't. They skipped over 2. Where it's the fucking different video game. And they're like, well, we'll just change it. We'll make it Mario for Americans because the original Mario Brothers 2 is too close to the original and too hard. The Lost Levels, as it later became known to Americans. But yes, let's talk about the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Let's start with the theater experience. Did you take a young one to this movie?
I did. Me and Grandy, which is Sarah's dad, and little baby Bennett, who I guess not baby anymore. I guess he's toddler.
I know. It's funny because I feel like I almost referred to him as Baby B once. I was like, well, I guess he's kind of been supplanted in the baby role right now.
Yeah,
he's walking around. He's a young menace now. So
walking around and talking. Yeah. So we took him to the B&B theater.
Okay.
Saw it on the non 3D deal. You know what I mean? The 3-screen thing.
Stamps. Oh yes, you did not do that. Yes, that's probably.
But we did see it in their premium format, which is like less than a Dolby, but more than a standard theater. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Nice seats. They have one hell of a heater in their seats, dude. It is a scorcher. But it's actually a very pleasant experience. Their premium format isn't like I said, it's not Dolby, but it's definitely a step above. Standard theater, and it's like 10 minutes from the house, which is also really elevates the experience as well.
For sure, absolutely.
Plus, I think it's a non-AMC thing, so it's almost like you're supporting a smaller theater chain, which I'm sure they're definitely a smaller theater chain, but it almost feels like I don't know. They're always doing other things there, like they have a game night, and it feels like you're supporting a smaller business, which is pretty cool when you go there. So, anyways. Sure. Sarah packed a bag of snacks. I refused to bring them in, and we bought snacks to support that local business.
Car snacks.
Yeah. And, so we went in, and B was locked in, man. He was locked in for like pretty much the entire movie.
This probably it's not the first theater trip for him, but probably among the first, right?
Yeah, it's top 5.
Yeah.
I think it's like his 3rd or his 4th theater trip. Second with me, though.
Gotcha.
Grandma takes him to the movie theaters. Like he went and saw Zootopia 2 with Grandma. So this one, he started to kind of like, at one point he was laying down in his seat, and at one point he wanted to get in my lap. So he started to get a little squirmish, but no craziness. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
He was pretty locked in.
It helps. It's 90-ish minutes, I guess. There's a mid-credits and a post-credits. I don't know if you guys stayed for that, but
no,
yeah,
I did not.
Didn't think so. Kids don't care about that sort of thing.
And
adults barely do.
I may have, he may have been more locked in than me. I actually think I nodded off at one point. Yeah, I get it where I can get it. Sometimes that happens to be the movie theater. But anyways, movie theater experience was very good. It was full of kids. And all those kids were very
Saturday, Sunday opening weekend
Saturday. It was we went and saw it Saturday opening weekend at I think 2 o'clock, 1 or 2 o'clock.
So pretty
matinee
peak,
in the middle of the weekend.
Peak kids kind of showtime. Yeah.
Yeah. They clapped. They got excited when they saw Yoshi. It was a very respectful kid audience, but it was still a lot of fun, right? They were definitely engaged, and it was a lot of fun to watch it that way. It was a good time.
Good.
Yeah, good theater experience. How about
did you have a? You
can go fire away. What do you got?
I went Friday afternoon. I had Good Friday off, and I made a Good Friday out of it. Watching the Super Mario Galaxy movie. A lot of kids in my theater that I guess had Good Friday off too, or religious parents. I don't know. I had a similar experience. Fun to see the joy of other children. I myself was the 30-plus-year-old adult man sitting there by myself, and it did not accompany me. No, but like I didn't. No one was crazy. Like you said, like everyone was kind of like engaged and reactive, and in the right sorts of way. And it's a very crowd pleasing kind of movie, and it played as a crowd pleaser. I would say for my audience, definitely. So, fun time. And I did see it in Dolby, just regular Dolby, not 3D. I know I saw a trailer for it in 3D at some point, I guess in front of Avatar, but I feel like nothing ever plays in 3D except for Avatar movies these days, which is fine. But yeah, no, it looked very nice in Dolby. Now, what did you think about the movie? I'm curious. All right, maybe you dozed off here and there, but I'm sure you picked up enough to have a take on it. So yeah, how'd you feel about the Super Mario Galaxy movie?
So to preface my opinion, I just want to. I think I recall being pleasantly surprised with the first movie. I think the way I worded it is,
that's fair.
It was better than what I thought it should have been. Right, like I had a good time with the first Mario movie. We watched it on Friday because Bennett had never seen it.
He did a rewatch, I guess, first time watch for Bennett. Yeah,
he had never seen it.
I assume he liked it well enough that he wasn't upset about seeing the new one or whatever.
That's right. Yeah, he liked the first one. I liked the first one a lot. I thought it was pretty good. This one here, I feel like the pacing was a little. I mean, like I said, maybe it's because I was tired. I don't know, but I don't know. I feel like the pacing was off on this one. I thought that it played longer than a 90-minute movie.
Okay.
And it was still fun. It was still a pretty movie to watch. It was still funny. But I don't think it. Maybe it's because but see, I rewatched the first one, so it's like it's and I still had a good time watching it. I don't know. I don't know what it was about this one. I think it was just pacing. I think it just kind of slugged a little bit. But I had a good time with it. I mean, overall, it was pretty fun. I just thought it wasn't as quick and snappy as the first one. I thought it lulled a little bit. And like I said, I ended up falling asleep during the middle of it. So, and Bennett actually said, Dada, don't go to sleep. He woke me up.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm up. I'm awake.
But Grandy fell asleep too.
Eyes open.
Grandy fell asleep too. So Bennett's between two sleeping men.
Yeah, maybe it's less enjoyable for him if everyone's not feeling it the same way as him, So, all right. Any other overall non-spoilery thoughts for you?
No, not really. No, I mean it was.
Fair. It's fair. It's not a deep movie, of course.
No, I mean, I thought that. Brie Larson, right? Brie Larson as
she's Rosalina.
Rosalina, I thought she did a good job. I thought Rosalina was pretty cool. I enjoyed her character and kind of like the. I don't know if that follows like. I haven't played a lot of the Galaxy games. I think I played the first one with the Switch. It was pretty good. But I haven't played a lot of Mario here in the past like 5 years or so.
Well, I mean, you might be due in the next few years getting into that. That's a good it's video game franchise.
Bennett's really into Danny Go, and Danny Go is kind of like video game-esque, Mm-hmm. He's like, hey, let's go grab this fruit. And he's like, move to the left and move to the right and grab this and that. It looks like a video game a lot, and he's really into that. I think and he really was into Mario. So I think in the next year or two, we're going to start dabbing our toes in the games. But I can't remember the last Mario game I played. I was really hoping that they would lean into some Sunshine. Because Mario Sunshine's a fucking...
Oh, that's true. That's another one they just totally jumped right over.
Yeah, I mean, the people were in the Galaxy, like...
That's true. Like, it had a lot of things integrated from games, really both, actually before and after. Like, there's a lot of Odyssey stuff, which is, post-Galaxy, but, like dinosaur and stuff. It's not a spoiler. Like, there's definitely stuff in here that's very Odyssey inspired, which is interesting. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's one of those things. Like they probably just there's a lot stuffed into this movie. Let's put it that way. I mean, and I don't know. I know a lot of people have been like, well, what about all the other things? I didn't really mind it because I think the Galaxy stuff made for a really cool setting.
Yeah.
Like I think it kind of it is a big leap. I think in some ways from the first one. The first one's very Earthbound, and not in a Earthbound Mother sort of way, but a just very centered on Earth sort of way.
But centered in like Galaxy Earth, right? Like or is it Galaxy? What game was it where you go to that, like where Mario lived in the movie? I don't know if that sentence made any sense. Remember,
well, he's like, yeah.
Like
I don't know if it did.
So in the movie, he lives in the
first movie. Oh, it's like is he in New Donk City technically? I don't know.
Yeah. I think that's
Okay.
I think that's the name of the city. Like that's you go to that city in the game on the Switch.
Yeah, in the Odyssey. Yeah, I think there's New Donk City. I think that's maybe where, I don't know. I can't remember specifically. I did not rewatch the first movie, to be clear.
But you see the mayor.
No, see, I'm looking at the Wikipedia. It says he just lives in They just live in Brooklyn. I think that was one of my biggest complaints about the first movie. Is like, why the fuck are Mario and Luigi from regular old Earth? Like, it's animated Earth, so everyone looks kind of
That's right.
like
They do
Mario
live
and
in
Luigi.
Brooklyn. They don't live in New Donk City. They live in Brooklyn.
It's just straight up. It's just straight up Brooklyn. It's just straight up Earth.
You're right, but it looked like New Donk City though, because the mayor was in New Donk City,
right? And it's like maybe like if it was just New Donk City, then it almost makes sense because this is a fictional city that's close to like an Earth city, but it makes sense that it's not meant to be part of our world in a weird sort of way. I do recall that being one of my things of being like, why does everything have to be like set around Earth, like to be considered relatable or approachable? And it's just like, you don't think kids are going to understand like the Mushroom Kingdom? And like, no, it has to be this weird new dimension that the Earthlings end up on. I'm like, fuck off. They're doing this shit with the He-Man movie. They did it with Sonic, and it's just kind of just like, you don't need that. Like, I don't think you need that side of it. And I know that was definitely something that bothered me about the first one. And what I will say, jumping into the Galaxy movie, is all that shit's gone. It's Mushroom Kingdom and the Galaxy and like other kind of places within the galaxy. Like, it definitely seems to like Mario's family is not in this movie. Like, that whole angle is dropped, I think.
They didn't move
other than Luigi.
I'm sorry, that might be spoilery.
Well, no, I mean, but there's no Earth. There's no Earth in this movie, which is kind of weird because it's not. It does feel like it dropped a big kind of component of what the first movie was, which was this idea that Mario and Luigi are just fucking plumbers in Brooklyn, which I will say I didn't like, so I wasn't upset to see it not, make a return here, but kind of weird at the same time. Like, I don't know. You literally watched them back-to-back days. Maybe it feels, I don't know. Maybe it's not that serious. It's probably what it comes down to is these movies don't take themselves that seriously, and you shouldn't either. Is maybe the right way to approach these movies, but
I mean, a little continuity goes a long way, though. I mean, it's pretty nice to have a little continuity.
I don't know. It kind of seemed like this one was very much more about making it more like the games and stuffing in references and stuff to the games, characters, cameos, and stuff like that. Than the first one had a little bit more of a storyline to it, I guess, in a way. It
did.
Like character arcs and stuff like that.
It did.
I don't know. So, I mean, I think that probably feeds into what I'll say about this movie is I enjoyed it. I don't know that it's a good movie because I think it's barely a movie.
Okay.
It's to me, it's a series of 5 to 6 minute vignettes of character A and character B are here. They fight character C, and then they move to location 2.
You're describing
the same thing happens
far better, far more elegantly than I was capable of putting into words.
And I think that's where the pacing issues that you have stem from, is because it's just kind of rinse and repeat the whole fucking movie. And it's kind of fine for like the first 4 or 5 times it happens, but then that halfway point, you're kind of just like,
that's where I fell asleep.
Oh, this is just the same thing over and over again with different characters and a different villain or villains, whatever. And it's really a lot of the same piece, but it's colorful in a different way because they're, or they're on a planet, or they're at a casino, or they're prehistoric, or the Mushroom Kingdom. Like there's the different locales that like attempt to diversify it, but at the end of the day, if you strip it back to just like what is happening in this scene, it's kind of the same thing over and over and over again. Which is, I don't think it's, I don't know. I don't want to criticize this movie too much because I think that it succeeds for what it's trying to do. I just kind of feel like it didn't have high aspirations of being a, I don't know, overly engaging or moving sort of movie. It's a movie to me that is for children, and I think very much for children. And there's a lot of kids movies, animated movies, we'll say, 3D animated movies, I think, where they're made for children and adults. And I know I've said probably this exact spiel probably multiple times when we've talked about, animated and kids movies and stuff like that. Sometimes they make, kids movies that are really for children to the exclusion of adults. And I would say this is close to that. I think what is a little bit different about this one is if you're someone like me, someone like you have the reverence and the nostalgia attached to the Mario franchise which maybe can carry it enough. I think if you don't have that, if you don't recognize character A, B, C, and D, and that means absolutely nothing to you, then this is a vapid piece of shit. And that's
if you're Grandy, you're falling asleep.
Yeah, and it's
but even me, I enjoy.
Well, I mean, honestly, yeah, I mean, 45 minutes in, I'm like, oh, there's a lot of this movie still left, and it's like, I don't know.
It seemed to play long, dude. It was just long.
I'm starting to. That there's a monkey chase, I think was where I found myself starting to wonder.
That's where I fucking lulled, dude. That's where I started to fall asleep.
Yeah. And there's something very cool that happens after that, which I was excited about. We'll get into in spoilers.
Yeah. And it's a shame because I was sleeping during that part. And I actually, there's a prehistoric thing, and there's no spoiler there because it's in the trailers.
Yeah, and also
Bennett was most excited to see that dinosaur. I was sleeping during the dinosaur part.
Oh no!
That's when he told me, "Dad, don't sleep." I was like,
big dinosaur, big scary. Yeah, I don't know. Look, to me, this feels like a theme park ride. Like every little vignette feels like it could be a ride. Like the Universal rides,
sure.
Where it's just like, it's fun for 5-6 minutes. Would it be fun to do that ride 20 times in a row? I probably would get old, like it might lose its luster a little bit. Right. And I think that's kind of what this movie is. I think it's a little uneven as a result. The pacing is a bit wonky as a result. At the same time, I think I enjoyed it more than the first one because the first one had elements that pissed me off, and this one didn't. And so I don't know that it's better. I don't think it's a better movie necessarily because I do think the first one had, again, an attempt at arcs and characterization that this one kind of just punts on. Because it's really just Mario and Luigi go here, and then they do this, and then they do that, and then they do that, and then Peach and Toad go here, and they do that, and it is just kind of just moving the characters around on the board, and not really advancing them in any sort of meaningful way. I think Bowser is maybe the closest one they try, and they kind of just abandon ship by the end of the movie at doing anything with that. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I had fun with it. I was
spectacle.
I was very it's a really beautiful movie. I think. I mean, not in a in the way that it's animated. The technical wizardry. Like it's very colorful. The animation itself is really really well done. It's like top notch animation, and it's a really it's bringing a lot of worlds to life in a really kind of splendid sort of way that I think definitely for children especially is going to be awesome, just awesome to see. And for me it was fun. I'm sometimes I'm a sucker for the cameos and the little references and stuff, and it's that character, I get a kick out of that sometimes too. That doesn't necessarily make a movie, and it doesn't make a movie good, but sometimes nostalgia can be enough to at least cover up enough of the patchwork elements of a movie to at least make it fun enough for 90 minutes of your life. Am I going to go raving about this movie? No. Am I going to be thinking about this movie in a week's time? No, probably not. But I think that it is perfectly serviceable as a children's film, and I don't know if that's a cop out of a review to make, but and I guess I'm saying all this because it's getting savaged critically, and I don't think that's unfair. I think that's actually very reasonable.
Mhm.
Like, because I think if you are looking at this as art, as a piece of, as a film, in terms of like thinking about traditional constructions of film and things
like
that you
the
look for in films, like,
and like the thrust of the movie and this and that.
yeah, like I do think it's probably lacking there. I mean, I think the voice cast is generally good. I don't like Chris Pratt's Mario. I never did, but I think the others are pretty fun. I don't know. I think maybe one of the biggest, I don't know if this is like a mean thing to say, but I think this movie works better when the characters are not talking. You know what I mean? And I don't even think it's like the jokes. I feel like the jokes were worse in the first one. I feel like this one actually didn't have as much dialogue as the first one. But I don't know. It just, to me, it works better when it's not trying to be, Chris Pratt and Charlie Day and Anya Taylor-Joy and Jack Black. There's a bit of Jack Blacking about in this one still.
Sure,
maybe
Black
not quite
always
as
Jack
much as the
Black.
first one, but that's his thing. That's what he does. Anyway, I've put more thought into this movie than the creators did, and that's okay. But I had fun with it, so they're whatever work they did
That's
put in
the intention.
left me
right?
entertained. Left me entertained.
Bennett enjoyed it.
Yeah, and
Okay,
all the children
and
on my
that's,
showing had a great fucking time, and I was not mad at the children.
I'm with
How
you.
dare you enjoy
that,
this? How dare you?
I have a hard time at this day and age, and this is bad. This is probably not the right thing to say, but at the current state of things, especially with the theater, not exclusively to the theater. I mean, everything's kind of crazy, but specifically with theaters and like the thing that we enjoy, probably arguably some of the most like biggest thing that we enjoy. At least with me, I really enjoyed the movie theater. If it's putting an ass in a seat, like I might not be getting all of it. I might not be getting everything out of what it's intended. You know what I mean? Or whatever. If it's putting people there and selling tickets and it keeps the theaters open that much longer, then good. I'm kind of here for it. You know what I mean? And this year seems to be a good year for theaters so far.
So far so good.
Yeah,
I mean, it's Project Hail Mary, and now this. I think we're well positioned to have some big
take
movies
Bennett to
this
a
year.
movie and he enjoys it. He's having fun with it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, for sure.
I think this movie, like you said, the series of vignettes is a really accurate way to put this movie. It's almost like you took all the gameplay out of a game and just kind of shoehorned like cutscenes together.
Yeah. It's a
Cutscene
YouTube
montage.
compilation of
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, it is a bit of that. The story is extremely thin. We've got to save Rosalina, so every 5 minutes we'll go to a new planet or location to theoretically be in service of that, but also we're going to have our own little thing. It's like, I don't know, like recent example, like the early Percy Jackson books is very much just like a chapter. I'm here. I fought this monster. Next chapter, I'm somewhere else. I fought a different monster. And it's kind of that. And that's why those, like that second book, especially the Percy Jackson series, I was kind of just like, oh, is the whole series just this? Because I don't know. I guess to be fair, if you wanted to break it down to being as granular as that, like the Odyssey is kind of that, but like, that one gets a pass for being pretty fucking old. Maybe being the one to pioneer that sort of type of storytelling.
But I think our boy gets a little bit something from every locale.
It's an oversimplification, of course. Yes. Yeah. But
it is a globe trot,
that is at least
trotting. It's a sea
that
trotting.
at least is all in service of, hey, I just want to fucking get home, man. So
yeah,
and there's stuff going. There's fuckery afoot at home as well. So
yes. Oh, have you gotten that far?
Well, I mean, sort of, because it sort of starts there, at least in terms of the poem itself with Telemachus at home and
those fuckers, all those people. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, well, we talked about it a little bit on the last episode, but it was pretty late at night, so I don't even know how much I remember, to be honest. But it's immortalized. Anyone that listened to episode 318, it's immortalized. All right, let's go over the recommendation. See this in theaters, watch it at home, wait till someone pays you to watch it. What do you think? Where's this stack up for you?
I think this is a perfect streaming movie.
Okay. Yeah.
I think that. Well, I mean, like I said, if you got a kid that's interested in whatever, then I think that your kid will have fun watching it. Mine did, so that's cool. But if you do not have a child and you're looking for a, don't watch it if you're looking for something thought invoking or anything like that.
I mean,
you're not going to get
Project
it.
Hail Mary just came out a couple weeks ago. That probably
watch that instead. Yeah,
deserve your time if you haven't seen it in a theater. Like that's got the sort of spectacle. If you are an adult, a childless adult,
hotel movie, airplane movie,
and it's fun. Like it plays well probably in any setting, but it's not good enough.
But at least with the first Mario,
demand your time.
Like you could step into this movie and it doesn't matter what part of the movie you're in. It doesn't matter. You're gonna
truly, You turn it on halfway through, and that casino sequence is way more exciting because it's not,
And you can sit down and you can tune in
at for 40 minutes prior to that.
At 30 minutes, at 40 minutes, at 50 minutes, and they're in one place and they're moving to the next place to get to the end, right? So it really It doesn't really matter where you hop in because it's very much journey over near the beginning and destination. You know what I mean? It's just journey. It's a journey movie.
Yes.
So
should have called this one Super Mario Odyssey. The way they fucking jumped around so much.
That's true. Yeah, could have.
But then they'd have two Odyssey movies competing against each other this year. That would.
Yeah,
may not be good. Yeah,
I don't know. I think I agree.
It's
a streaming movie. I don't think it's bad enough to I don't feel like I wasted my time with it. I think but it's not.
Yeah, I think for me the only way that this becomes a theater's recommendation is if you host a podcast in which you discuss the latest in film and television and then do it all over again the following episode,
right?
Or if you have a kid that's old enough to be into this sort of thing, not too old, is in the sort of wheelhouse, because I do think a 16-year-old's not going to get the same level of enjoyment out of this as a 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 2-year-old, almost 3-year-old, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's got enough spectacle to it that I think it plays well in a theater and could work for that angle, could work from that angle, but at the same time, you can put this on at home. This will probably be a movie that if your kid is in that 2 to 7 age range, you'll have seen this movie 300 times before you're dead. I think this has the potential to be that kind of movie, because I think it probably is sort of a, like you said, drop in, drop out sort of. Whenever, whatever scene is kind of just going to be entertaining and fun, but you don't really need to be invested in anything because it's not asking you to be.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say it's a watch at home sort of movie. Streaming, I think. I don't think you need to buy a 4K steel book of a movie. It's just not that kind of movie. It's just
not a $25 streaming movie either.
It's not trying to be, and I don't know if I'm being too forgiving. There are animated movies last year, K-Pop Demon Hunters, which obviously was a streaming movie, but I think is coming to the Criterion Collection. I'm going to fucking buy that.
Are you kidding me?
That's fucking
huge.
sick. That's sick. I want that. I want a copy of that. I want that. And honestly, most Pixar movies have some real emotional depth to them. The Inside Outs. I didn't see it, but Hoppers seemed like it got really good reviews earlier this year as well.
Mm-hmm.
Most kids' movies put more of an effort into being a movie, you know what I mean? And having a story and having characters that and aren't just, just a thing to make, to print money. And, that's kind of what this is. And that's okay too. I accept it at face value, but if they're not seeking to do anything more than just print money, then I'm not going to give them credit for something they're not really trying to be either. So I think watch this at home, if you haven't made the trek already, or your kid hasn't been pestering you and you finally have a day off. I think you can have a really good time at the theater with this. Sounds like you did. I mean, I enjoyed my time, and the kids And my showings certainly did.
Benny got a orange soda pop. He got a popcorn and some candy. And
I mean, $100 later or whatever, but still.
It was about 100. It was, I mean, because I bought Grandy's ticket and I bought the candy and the food and stuff, But it's
if in this economy you can afford to do such a thing.
That's true. It's true.
We have to add that caveat now.
Yeah.
If the gas prices have not scared you into staying home for the rest of your fucking life, then that's something you have to consider as well. But
it's cool to go. It's cool to it's really special for you to have a kid and like watch them enjoy the same like activity that you enjoy.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah.
Cool to share a movie. It's cool to share a movie. So
yeah. All right. Why don't we get into spoilers? Full spoilers for the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Bum 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 ba bum 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 ba. Do a barrel roll.
Voiced by none other than our boy.
Yes. Glenn Powell.
Glenn Powell. Yeah.
Who, to complete the fun fact, also petitioned to voice this character.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Actually, apparently called up and said, "Hey, I really want to be part of a Star Fox movie." And at the time, he had no inkling that Fox McCloud would be making an appearance in the Super Mario Galaxy movie, but that's kind of how it started. So,
that's cool as shit, man.
So did you see Fox's introduction in this movie, or were
I did
a little okay?
No, I did.
So that fucking 2D anime that was the coolest thing.
Yes, it was like how he arrived in the galaxy.
Yeah, he's like from another dimension, whatever. Yeah, no, that was awesome. You got to see the full Fox, Star Fox crew, Peppy, Slippy. Falco.
Yeah, Falco. Cool shit.
That was fucking cool. That was awesome. That was legitimately like that was really cool. And I don't know. It was.
I would not be surprised if we got he was introduced in Mario, but like he goes back home. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. If this is leading to a Star Fox movie in that animation style, that would be fucking badass. We're getting a live action Zelda. You can keep doing this 3D Mario, and give us like a 2D anime style Star Fox.
Yeah.
I don't know that it makes gangbusters in the way that this movie prints money, but I would fucking watch it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Really so cool. I'm here for that 100%.
Yeah, that was very cool. I don't understand it. I don't know if it was desperation or what, but they put out a poster with Fox like a week before the movie came out. I'm like, oh,
okay.
I didn't want to know that. Like that would have been such a fun surprise. It's like, I don't know. I don't know. I guess feel like with the Deadpool and Wolverine had all those big cameos. Like, let's just put a poster of fucking Blade. Wesley Snipes is back. Let's put it out a week before the movie just to drum up interest. Be like, look, Wesley Snipes is back. Look, Channing Tatum's Gambit in this one. I don't know. Or I don't know. There's probably big cameos in the Avengers movies that would kind of have the same sort of thing. Where it's just like, I don't know. Like, did you need to tip your hand? You didn't think this movie was going to make enough money? You think that I don't know. And it's also not even like he's not even a Mario character. So it's kind of just like, I don't know. I don't know that really moved the needle in any sort of way. It just kind of felt like spoiling the surprise. But it was still cool to see him. And I think what was surprising was that he was such a big character.
Yeah, he was
really kind of became part of the crew,
role
which was
too.
Cool.
Yeah.
Kind of a Han Solo type. You need a pilot, take me across the galaxy.
Yeah, especially like with the way his character was written into the story, it definitely was.
Very much so, yeah.
Yeah, it's very cool. And I feel like, I mean, I'm definitely not an expert on Star Fox or anything like that, but it feels like that would be a role. It seems like that would be the kind of character that he would service. Does it make sense? Like, a Han Solo type.
It totally worked.
Yeah.
No, it very, very much worked within.
And I think Homie did a good
confines of the
job. I
story.
mean, he was kind of just doing himself, but I thought he did a good job.
But that's okay. Yeah, everyone's kind of just doing themselves, and like that's honestly okay. I think the only one for me is like Chris Pratt being himself as Mario. Is like, well, I don't really like Chris Pratt, so like I don't really like Mario that much. Whereas I love Charlie Day, I love Jack Black, I love Donald Glover, and I love Glenn Powell, I love Brie Larson. Like everyone else is like, fuck yeah, that's cool. It's just you got wet blanket Chris Pratt being the only one. Like, but that's all right. All right. So Fox McCloud's here. Should we, I guess we can talk about all the other little cameos. Like you got the Mario 2 villains, Wart and Birdo in the casino. I guess you're maybe sleeping through that a little bit.
Who was that one? No, because I saw the monkey. The monkey runs through town.
The monkey runs through town, leads him to this like underworld, with all the Mario baddies and stuff, which was fun. I mean, it was kind of like
that's where Peach kicks ass.
These
right?
little vignettes were not independently bad. Like they're all fun. They're all colorful and vibrant and like funny, generally like it all kind of works. It's just 20 minutes, 20 versions of it stitched together is where it loses its luster.
Montage.
A whole montage of a movie in a way, like a very long extended montage. Apparently Samus's ship is seen at the spaceport as well, but I didn't actually have the eagle eyes to spot that. They didn't show her. No.
How do you show Samus in a Mario movie though?
Yeah. I don't know. Rob was like the little guide and did
he played the role of the sloth in Zootopia.
Yes, correct. It was the exact same sort of thing. That's a very astute observation. A joke that's already been done in cinema before, and to be fair, was still funny here. So I guess it's okay. The Game and Watch bit at the end was cute. I thought
the Game and Watch was funny.
Yeah. Like generally, like all that stuff's pretty fun.
In a vacuum.
Not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. Just in a vacuum. What else in spoilers though? I mean, I guess kind of going through the adventure. We start with Rosalina. I mean, you sounded like you enjoyed Brie Larson here. I feel
did.
Like
yeah.
For it being a Mario Galaxy movie, there's not a lot of Rosalina. She's mostly captured the whole movie. Which I guess princess being captured in a Mario thing is obviously a sort of classic thing that it does, but usually it's Peach.
I enjoyed the so her and Peach both kick ass, and the way I just thought it was pretty neat. I did like the Baby Bowser makes Bowser World or whatever it is. And I thought that bit was pretty entertaining. They did the whole like Bowser Castle level thing, as
right.
There was,
you get
more,
like the actual, like,
I think more so than the first movie.
2D sprite,
this movie,
pixels animation.
This movie did like a lot of throwbacks to Mario games and stuff in ways that the first movie did not.
Sure,
and
gotcha.
That's awesome. If you had more movie, you had more like actual, like meaningful content. And
right. There's still a way to build a movie around doing all of that. Like just doing that in and of itself
is not enough.
Isn't really enough.
It's spectacle over like substance,
It's fun and it's cool, but it's there's a way to make this movie actually have something in it, but instead you've just opted to like look at how cool this is. I'm like, hey, it is cool. I won't disagree with you. Like, it is neat, and I think the way that they did a lot of that was actually really neat. But it's just, is that enough? So, I'll tell you what. I guess I could have said this in non-spoilers. I think the music in this was really well done, and I think it eschewed the needle drops that the first movie had in favor of iconic, recognizable Mario tunes.
True, that's definitely true.
There was one needle drop of Biggie Smalls with Yoshi's little misadventures.
Yeah.
I guess in Brooklyn. I guess that was the one reference we did get to Brooklyn existing in here, and I thought that was incredible. That little sequence of him just the way he moved. I don't know how to explain it, but also just the camera of
Yoshi's
just
cool as
following him
shit
from
dude.
behind. Yoshi's badass. He's great. eating people, pooping them out.
I feel like that may have been Glover lending some fucking character to Yoshi. Prancing around New York.
Yeah, that was great. I think that was honestly maybe the funniest thing in the movie for me. So I guess it peaked early in terms of humor, but that was, I don't know. I just love that. I love that whole sequence.
It's pretty good. And I don't know.
It's funny. I was ready to be like, all right, let's go through this, but then it is kind of just turning into, and then
it's every montage because it's in every sequence. It's like, hey, did you see those people from Mario Sunshine? Yeah, I saw the palm tree people. Yeah, they were walking around there. That's cool. Yoshi was cool when he was walking around. There's just no substance to the movie, and that's where I fell asleep.
Yeah. Oh God, I forgot we got a whole sequence of them as babies, the baby Mario and baby Luigi.
That's right. Yeah.
Which again, in a vacuum was actually kind of funny, and
it was.
I enjoyed it, but I don't know. It's what impact does it have on the story? None whatsoever. I mean, not everything has to be story consequential. It's okay to have fun set pieces and sequences, but when it's just that and nothing much else, I don't know. Kind of, I guess it just wears thin. I guess overall.
Yes, it does.
I don't know. There's fun stuff. Dry Bowser.
Dry Bowser was pretty cool.
Dunk. That was cool, and I do think it was good that it didn't completely repeat the same beats as the first movie. Like, we didn't get Donkey Kong in this one. We didn't. I mean, I feel like Bowser Jr. was a little bit of a shakeup, like the paintbrush and stuff, and like the way that he could use that to create like the big monster dragon thing at the end. A little bit different. A different type of threat.
Mario was brave from like the Jump Street, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's true. He's kind of already arrived at the point.
But I guess
his arc is telling Peach how he feels about her, and it's like, okay, well, I mean, who cares? Like, fuck, it's Mario and Peach. Like, okay.
But like Luigi's arc in the first movie was pretty touching, like he's always had his big, like there was an arc, there was a character arc in the first movie.
The first one did attempt to have a story.
Yeah.
I just didn't like aspects of that story, but I will give that movie credit for at least attempting to have a story.
This 2D one, fucking paper cut.
Because Mario and Luigi are just Mario and Luigi. They start the movie as Mario and Luigi, and they end the movie as Mario and Luigi, and they pick up some people as part of their entourage. They get Yoshi. Like, Yoshi gets added to the party. But Yoshi's character is static the whole time of, fun, silly sidekick who likes to, eat things and poop them out as eggs. And, like, it's funny and it's fun, but, like, that's kind of it. I don't know. Peach is a go-getter. She's a badass. And she kind of is. I mean, I guess there's this whole thing of her and Rosalina being connected to each other, but I feel like that's very glossed over. I really think the only thing that they even tried to do was this maybe sort of redemption arc for Bowser, which they went down that road and then kind of pulled back on it, like it never went back to the point of him telling Bowser Jr. like, actually, I think that maybe we could go about this a different way. Like, he kind of just goes all in at a certain point. I don't know. It didn't really say anything about his character in any sort of way either. You know what I mean? Like, it felt like, oh, maybe there's something here. No, they're kind of letting off the gas there a little bit, but I don't know. It's just kind of the movie though, It's kind of how it goes. Lumas were cute. Yeah.
There's not a whole lot to talk about because there's not a whole lot there.
I felt like there was going to be more to talk about here because there's just so much happening, but there's almost too much happening that I'm kind of just like, shit, I'm less than a week removed and I don't remember vast swaths of this other than like the general thing. Like, there's they're in the desert with the Mexican inspired characters, the Dia de los Muertos inspired things, which I think maybe is from Odyssey, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe other games in the franchise too. But I guess they find Yoshi there.
The pink egg spitter, I don't know her name.
Birdo, yeah.
Birdo. Her name's Birdo.
That's Birdo, yeah.
Yeah, spits the eggs out with the bow in her hair.
Mm-hmm. She's there.
Yeah. She's like part of
for
a
sequence, and
like she's like a main boss kind of thing, right?
Yeah, I think in Mario Bros. 2, and then think they.
No, I mean in the movie.
Starts
I
as
feel like she was part of.
Oh
like
yeah.
And then you had the one that throws the hammer and the one that throws something, like in the beginning.
Yeah, sure.
They did a lot with
like
the levels. There was like a lot of boss level stuff.
Yeah, and that was fun. It was cool, but I guess it doesn't really translate to saying anything other than it was cool. Like I mean, yeah, it was cool. Like in the moment, I enjoyed it. I, was probably smiling. It was pretty fun. But it's just not a deep movie, and that's
no, it's not.
That's a drawback. But at the same time, like it's okay. It's really not that serious, and I don't feel. I don't know. It is what it is. It's totally fine. I'll still watch a fucking third one of these. So, I guess maybe that's where to go. He didn't stick around for the mid and post credits.
No, what happened? And don't tell me.
The mid credits was, I think, Bowser and Bowser Jr. in jail, and like the Luma from the first movie, the one that's like I feel like there's a Luma in the first one that's in jail with Luigi, who's just like, life sucks, everything's horrible.
Yeah, it was funny.
I think it's that character coming back, and I think they're a jailer now that they're jailing Bowser and son, which is funny. The post credits is probably the Yoshi equivalent of teasing a new character. It's the monkey. The monkey finds a new mark, on the spaceport, and steals something, and then runs into someone wearing a yellow dress. Pan up, it's Daisy.
Oh shit,
Daisy, Princess Daisy. So we're gonna get some Daisy. Luigi will finally maybe have a chance at love. Mario and Peach maybe seemingly. Figured their thing out, and now it's Luigi's.
I want Danny DeVito as Wario. That's what I want.
I think you have to do Wario at least. Hopefully, Wario and Waluigi, I think, would be perfect. Danny DeVito, Charlie Day has already said on the record, like it's got to be Danny DeVito. And I think that it'd be fucking insane to think of anyone else for that role, because the perfect sort of chaotic energy. Maybe arguably
I'm glad I'm not alone. Charlie
enough
Day
of a
agrees.
physical resemblance. You don't need that, but I don't know. That would be incredible.
It was like Danny DeVito doing Pikachu for the Pokemon.
That would have been
movie.
fantastic. We didn't get that. We got Ryan Handsome Man Reynolds. But I don't know. But it's so perfect. It's so perfect. I'm going to be mad if it doesn't happen. If they're willing to let Donald Glover and Glenn Powell petition themselves into movies, then let Charlie Day do the heavy lift for you and give his friend Danny a call and said, "Hey man, you want to just do that, just give him the elevator pitch." And I don't know, man, let him cook. That's what I say. Because you did Bowser, you did Bowser Jr. I don't know. Wario and Waluigi are like big omissions, from this so far. So I think you got to go that way, and I think that could be really, really fun. So I would like to see it go that way. I don't know that they've officially greenlit a third movie, but let's be real. As I, kind of already said, it's kind of inevitable, right? Would be very, very surprising. But hopefully we get a Star Fox movie and shit too. That would be very cool. But yeah. All right. Any other spoilery thoughts? Other thoughts? General final thoughts for you on the Super Mario Galaxy movie?
No. I think that's about it.
Well, we needn't dwell on it any longer. What's she been up to since we brewed, newed, and newsed and previewed last week? Is that right?
No, sound like I said brewed nude. I didn't brew anything in the nude.
Yeah, I think I realized that, and I think I tried to. I was like, that doesn't sound right. Phrasing. Or you didn't do any brewing in the nude, is what you're telling me.
I did not do any brewing in the nude.
All right. What about clothes?
There was no brewing clothed either. But
all right. Okay. All right.
But we let's see. Did I talk about that show I started on Apple TV? It's called.
I don't know.
What the fuck is it called? It's called look it up. Something Women.
It's not ringing any bells, but we did get long in the tooth as I said already. So I may not
Something
recall.
Women on Apple TV. It's Imperfect Women. That's what it's called.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I started Imperfect. Sarah and I started Imperfect Women not a couple weeks ago, like last week. We have not gone further than the first episode. It's a little bit like a murder mystery. It's got Kate Mara and Elizabeth Moss and Kerry Washington in it. It's based off of a book.
Okay.
And the first episode, it's like I may or may not be like hook, line, and sinker yet, but I will tell you that it's shot very nice. It's a very well shot movie, and there's something about Apple TV. I think I've watched like 2, maybe 3 of their shows before, like on, just their platform, and everything is just shot so clean. They're I don't know what it is, but their presentation is just spick and span. It's a very well shot show. So it's well acted. I don't know if the premise is enough to keep me hooked for the thing, but seems okay so far.
Nice.
I have completed my Eldrazi deck. I don't know if anybody is invested in the Magic, but I am deep in it right now. The name I've named it Cosmic Desaturation is the name of the deck. Have I told you about this?
Told me about some. This one I'm not remembering, so I'm not
so
sure.
Eldrazi are like cosmic horrors, right? They're like Lovecraftian horrors. They come from the space between. They're colorless things that like manipulate life and land and color and all the stuff. And so the commander for this deck I've chosen to be Ultima Origin of Oblivion. He comes from Final Fantasy, and he is a god creature who can turn people's lands into colorless. So, for example, you can tap for red or green or black or blue or whatever. But when this guy swings at you, I can make your land colorless. So it like desaturates your land. And then whenever I tap for colorless, I can tap for 2. So it ramps. Nice. He's a ramping commander.
Have you put it into action yet? Is that
No, I've been building this one. I'm waiting for the last of the. So up until this point, actually, up until my my Administration of Subjugation and Suppression deck, which is the acronym.
That one before that sounds familiar. Yeah.
The acronym for that one is ASS.
Ass. That definitely sounds familiar to me.
Up until that deck, I had not bought cards online. I refused to because I knew it was a slippery slope.
Oh, okay.
I have since slipped, and so I've been purchasing cards online.
So the slope has been very slippery indeed.
Yeah, so this deck is well, not entirely. I worked out a deal with a person that I know buys and sells cards, and he needed some work on his car, so I kind of like worked it out with cards that he had. That's how I got some pretty awesome lands that are old and slightly pricey. Anyways, it's a cool colorless deck. I'm pretty excited to play it. It might be shit, but it might not be. It might be pretty potent. I don't know. But we'll see what happens the first time I play it. Steven usually beats me. My buddy Steven. He's got pretty tuned decks. He's pretty deep into it. And I win like 1 out of, I don't know, it feels like 1 out of fucking 10 times or 1 every 5 times. I don't know. I get my ass kicked a lot. And then that one time I win, I feel real good about it. But maybe Cosmic Desaturation is the one that kicks his ass. And so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Haven't been watching anything. We started, like I said, we did American Idol. We've been doing American Idol. It's a good season. If you're not in it, get in it. It's a good one. We've been watching the Pitt. I feel like the Pitt is starting to wrap up. It is a fabulous season of The Pitt. The Pitt is some of the best television you can watch right now on TV. I stick behind it. It's not Chernobyl, it's not some of the other things that I very much enjoy, but it's very, very well tuned TV. Like it's snappy. It's something that you don't want to turn off when you have to turn it off unless you binge it. It is bingeable. And I think it's worth watching. There's a lot of commentary and stuff that I think that can make people better and make them think. And I think it's a very good show. So I think people should watch it. I think that's pretty much it. What have you been up to, man?
Not a lot. Lots of hockey still. The Flyers,
lots of hockey. Okay,
presently, knock on wood, are actually in a playoff spot. So it was looking bleak for a minute there, and they've gotten their shit together and had a little bit of help around the league. So yeah, I haven't really. I don't know. Even this past weekend, we really didn't watch much of anything. So I mean, I feel like a lot of times I like to wait until I've finished a season or hit a certain point in things to talk about things. And I really am not at that point with anything. I watched 15 episodes of that first season of Scrubs. It's been my throw on every now and then, when I have a little bit of free time and don't need to, lock in too heavily sort of show. We're still grinding out ER. We're watching all the Pitt medical shows still. We haven't added Grey's Anatomy to the pile, thankfully. That would be a disaster.
That's a big one.
But we're in the penultimate season of ER, so we are getting there. The Pitt is likely to happen this year at some point. I think other than that, Shrinking, still watching Shrinking.
Is that pretty good?
Shrinking is good. The first season is definitely good. I've heard good. I think it's been consistently well reviewed for I think all 3 seasons, and really liking the first season. All things I've talked about in the past. I think if I had to talk about any one thing that probably I hit a milestone with, it's Hades 2, which is also something I've brought up multiple times already. I have quote unquote beaten it. I'll try to explain this simply again for anyone that didn't hear me talk about it the other several times. It's a roguelike game in which, you play a child of a Greek god, and your whole thing is going through and trying to beat the big bad. In this particular game, there's 2 different paths you can take that have different bosses. But the idea is basically, you go as far as you can, you die, you do it again, rinse, repeat, and eventually you get strong enough to beat the final boss. But beating the final boss isn't enough, because you have to beat both final bosses, and then you have to beat both final bosses enough times that you can create the magic to actually fully beat each boss and vanquish them for good. So I have gotten to the point where I have vanquished the bosses for good. Let's put it that way, which is to say, I've seen the credits roll. The credits roll at a certain point when you actually get to that true story ending. You've killed everyone enough times that you can actually see the true ending. Which is how the first game was. You had to beat Hades 10 times, and then you saw the actual true ending. This one's the same, but it's more complicated because it's 2 different paths. It's the underworld, it's Olympus, and I've seen the true ending, and I enjoyed it a lot. It was really nice. I think I probably took me 45 hours to get to that point, so definitely sunk a good chunk. I started this when I flew down to Florida in February, so I've really been locked into this game for a while now, and it's great. It's very much like the first one in terms of gameplay, but it's just refined and prettier, and different boons from different gods and stuff like that, and it's just fun. I wanted to do it because of the Greek mythology stuff we've really been leaning into pre the Odyssey, and would very much recommend it. I think it's probably one of those things. I think if you never played the first game, go play the first game, go beat the first game. This one is a continuation. I think the story is a continuation for sure that I think builds off of the first game, but the two are very, very similar gameplay wise that like I think if you played one and then went right into two, like that could get old pretty quickly because it's just kind of the same. But I hadn't played the first one in a few years before picking this one up and really, really enjoyed it. I think it fully came out last year. I think it was early access earlier than that. But there's still post-game stuff too, so I'm still playing it. You play it all on the
Switch?
Yeah, Switch 2. I bought the Switch 2 version. But I think it's on the regular Switch, and I think it's getting PS5 and Xbox releases this month as well, so it's pretty much going to be everywhere. I think it was on Steam and stuff to begin with too. So yeah, it'll pretty much be on platforms, pretty much on all platforms. I think within the next, honestly, literally the next week or so.
I know I played the original. I never beat it. But
yeah,
I mean, it sounds like there's like a lot to beat it.
You got to do a lot. It's not just enough to like finish a run. Like you have to do a run 10 times.
Is it laid out in a way? Is it laid out in a way kind of similar to Climb the Spire or whatever, to where like what you need to do in order to beat it, or is it kind of ambiguous?
Yeah, because basically there's like 4 chambers that you're in, like 4 areas in each path. There's a mini boss at the end of each path, and then there's the big boss at the end of the last area. So, like, even though the rooms themselves are randomized, the boons you get are randomized, like, you generally know how many areas you need to clear, how many rooms were within that area. The bosses always have the same tactics. You know what boons are more powerful. You know what weapons are more powerful. And just inherently, too, you get more resources that power yourself up. So you yourself are just more powerful going into each run. So, and it's just one of those things, like, you're going to die frequently and early in the beginning of the game. Yeah, it's a classic roguelike sort of structure where the more you play it, the better you get.
Do you think that's is the first one on PS5?
First one's on PS5 for sure. Yeah. It's probably a good portal option.
Portal on the bed before bed. Okay.
Yes, and it's
I think I might dive in.
Yeah, it's really fun. I think if you like that sort of gameplay style, it will definitely sink its hooks into you, and it will take hold of you, and you will resent its absence when you don't have it. You will resent its absence. I really enjoyed it. I've had a lot of fun with it. I'm going to have a little bit more fun with it because there's some post-game stuff to get to. But at a certain point, I'm sure I'll get sick of it and it will start to feel a little old, and I should go back and play Clair Obscur, maybe fire up a Mario game. I don't know. Do some other things with my life, perhaps. But that's really the only milestone thing, that I've been up to. I did spend an hour getting the Blackstone ready for the season. When I got home from work today, I gave it a little bit of a clean. First time bringing up, we haven't used it all winter because it's, been pretty miserable out there, and pulled the cover off and had to make sure that, things weren't too bad. Some animals had gotten to the propane hose line.
Oh,
they sent me a picture of that.
Yes.
So I had to buy a new one, replace that. We took your suggestion. We now have 2 tanks. So we have a full tank and a backup tank.
Yeah.
I just fired it up today, and I stripped some of the seasoning. I had a little bit of rust in the corner. It sits on a very slight incline, so I think the moisture kind of gathers in one back corner more than anywhere else, and so it got a little rust, so I had to clean that up, and I just ended up doing a little bit of a grinding thing on it, and then re-seasoned it, smoked it, and haven't cooked anything on it yet, but it's supposed to be nice this weekend. In-laws will be in town, so we might do something special out there. Should be fun. I don't know. I think I've talked about this before. I've been taking drum lessons for the past few years, a couple years. I'd have to do the math on that.
Yeah, for a while now, I know.
Yeah, the first song I learned to play was "Learn to Fly," Foo Fighters. I wanted to learn a song that Taylor Hawkins, the late drummer for the Foo Fighters, drummed on, and so I learned that. I've been learning Today by Smashing Pumpkins. Was Jimmy Chamberlain's a fucking badass drummer, and I don't know. I just like picking songs that I do other stuff. We do like learn beats and stuff like that, and certain rudiments and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't have my own kit. It's an aspiration that I've had for a while now. But yeah, I don't know. Drumming's fun. It's a little cathartic thing to do every other week, and beat the shit out of some drums for a while is fun.
Oh, that sounds good.
So yeah, that's what I've been up to. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So I think we can leave it there. I think we can wrap this up. I will say thank you all for listening. If you enjoyed what you heard, please spread the word. We are on Patreon at patreon.com/watchreviewrepeat. You can get early access to all of our regular episodes, timed exclusive access to bonus episodes. Our most recent bonus episode is Hercules. We did that probably about a month ago, so perhaps we're due for another Greek mythology inspired bonus episode in the future, so that do you have any in mind? More incentive. I mean, do you want to talk about it on air? Do you want to figure it out off air and surprise listeners? What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, if you have something in mind, we could probably talk about it, because I don't know of any really.
I was kind of feeling like maybe we should go with some old school Harryhausen stop motion animated, sorts of things. Could be fun.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds very cool. All right. I'll do that.
So yeah. All right. Well, there's a tease.
For that.
That's a tease. That's a tease for there's a few options that we could do for that. So we'll figure it out. Maybe once we hit the stop button, we'll talk about it and lock something in for ourselves. But yeah, no, I think we're due. I think we're also, I think, just timing wise, at a point where, I think we might have a window to do a bonus episode in the next week or two, I think, in terms of just the release schedule for things with Mario in the rearview mirror now. But yeah, sizzle. Check out Hercules while you can. But obviously, once we do a new bonus episode, we'll put Hercules up on the regular feeds. So you can look forward to the new one that we do for sure. And listening to these episodes early, of course. Website is watchreviewrepeat.com. Go ahead there. You can get links to all the socials that we're on. We're on Facebook, facebook.com/watchreviewrepeat. We're on Instagram at watchreviewrepeat. We're on Blue Sky, watchreviewrepeat.bsky.social. We're on YouTube. Leave a comment, send us a message, engage with us however you want that way. If you'd like to get into contact with us that way, of course, you can also email us. If you've got something to say, you can send it our way to watchreviewrepeat@gmail.com. Intro and outro track would be Mechanolith by Kevin MacLeod and Incompetech.com, licensed under the Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0 license. Yeah, I think next episode, well, if we're not recording a bonus episode next week, I think the only real big thing that I know you at least watched some of as of our Brews News and Previews was Jury Duty Presents Company Retreat, which I think has just wrapped up.
We are done with that. That's another thing we've been watching. Yeah.
So I don't know if that's, and maybe that's worth a whole episode. I think there's not a whole lot coming out. I think The Mummy is probably the next movie that we had teed up as something that we wanted to watch. Maul just started, but that's going to go until May. So, and Daredevil's going, but again, that's another one going to May. So we're kind of in the middle of a few different things, but Company Retreat did wrap up. So that's an option to talk about. I'm a bit behind myself, but we'll figure it out. We'll be back with something. Maybe Hercules will be adorning your feed next week because we've recorded a bonus episode. I don't know, but we'll have something. We've definitely got some stuff that we'll be recording for
big year. 2026 is going to be a good year. Got a lot of stuff.
Good year. We're early enough. We got a lot of big summer things to look forward to, but off to a pretty good start. Had some Hail Mary, great. Mario was fun. So
yeah,
feeling good. No big stinkers that we've watched so far. I don't think. Anyway. Not yet.
Knock on wood.
Knock on wood. All right. Well, I guess we'll leave it there.
Take care now. Bye then.
Later's on the Minche.
Wahoo!